Don't look, don't.
Okay, so how many of you have done a reader's theater before? It's where it's a story and you all have parts. And it's just like a play, but it's called reader's theater. Okay.
Oh yeah. The name got me confused.
Because none of you guys have had Mrs. Grimer, right?
No.
No, she wasn't here yet when you were in second grade. She likes to do them a lot.
We had Mrs. Hollingsworth, I believe we did one.
Yeah, the pirates. Yeah, pirates.
Okay.
And also with Granny.
Oh yeah, those.
Yeah. What time is it? It's Eva time.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do it on. This is the Underground Railroad Reader's Theater. First thing I want you to do is, excuse me, I'm going to have you read through it to yourself. Pardon me. You're going to read through the whole thing to yourself. I have parts assigned to you, but I want to make sure that you're comfortable with the part that I have assigned to you, okay? But I want you to go ahead and read through the whole thing so you know. Do you want a copy?
You can share with me.
I have my own copy here. I'm not sure why I kept that one. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and silently read through it. If you have problems with words, let me know so I can help you with words, and then we'll discuss it after you read through, okay?
So here? Do we get to pick
Yeah,
the parts?
No, I've got the parts picked, but I want to make sure you're comfortable with the part that I have picked for you, okay?
Okay.
So go ahead and read through the whole thing. Take your time. If there's words that you need help with, let me know. it, Angel? Okay. So now that you've read through the whole thing, I'm going to go ahead and give you the parts that I've assigned. Okay? I don't think there's one part, maybe the narrator has a little bit more than the others, or the reading is a little bit longer, but most of all, it's pretty equal. So you and I really don't have much choice because we're the only females, and there's 2 females in here, so you can either be Betsy or you can be Reese, whichever one you want to be. Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a guy.
What makes you think that it's a guy?
I don't know.
Just the name, yeah. I read through, and I think it could be either, you know, because they run together, but, you know, they could be very close friends. They could be sisters. We don't really know whether it's a male or female based on the reading. So we're going to assume that it's a female for this part, okay? So which one would you like? You want Betsy? Okay. All right.
Sure.
Okay, Gustavo, slave hunter.
Oh, that's like the coolest part.
Is that all right?
Yes.
Okay, so when I tell you your part, I want you to highlight what your part is so that you'll know. Okay, so right here up at the top, it's got all the parts that are in the story, all these different ones. So highlight yours, slave hunter. Angel, the master. Christopher, the Underground Railroad conductor.
Yes.
And Daniel Rivera, abolitionist. I think is how you say that.
Mr. Thurston.
Mr. Thurston
Oh, we work
Goodman.
together.
And the other Daniel, narrator.
Yes.
Is that good?
He
Oh,
loves
you
to.
guys make
He
it
loves
so
to
easy.
read.
Oh, good. Good, good. Okay.
Okay, I have one question.
Yes.
Wait, who are the slave hunters?
Me.
What's that? Slave hunter
Her, and
and
I'm the other
and-
one. I'm slave number 2.
yeah.
And I ran as to be slave number 1. Okay, what was your
Okay,
question?
so what is this word? Where's this word?
Gourd.
Gourd. Okay, that's
Yep.
what I
What
thought.
about
Lord.
William?
What about what?
William.
William. That's Underground Railroad conductor. That's Christopher.
Yeah, that's me, man.
Oh.
William or Bill. You can call me
We
Bill.
work together. You
Yeah.
have 2 against us 2.
Okay, so there's some important things that we need to know about being a fluent reader. Fluency is about how you read, how you talk when you read. Do you read a word and stop? Read a word and stop.
No.
Do you read fluently to where you can read smoothly and not have to stop and pause to figure out words or meaning of words, that kind of thing. So, very first one, a fluent reader reads words correctly. That's why I had you make sure you knew, and thank you, Christopher, for asking if you weren't for sure about a word. A fluent reader notices reading errors and goes back in the reading to self-correct them. So if you said, the purple chicken was walking, for instance, you would say, wait a second, the purple chicken, so you know that, oops, maybe I read something wrong. Uses punctuation to guide the meaning of the text by pausing appropriately for commas and periods. So not reading, you know, when you have a comma, what do?
You pause.
You pause and then you finish. When you have a period, you
Stop.
stop. Yeah, you don't just keep on reading. Just
I have a problem with that.
because you read so quickly, probably. Yeah.
I have a question for a word.
Okay, what's the word?
Is that scoundrel?
Scoundrel. Yep. Scoundrel.
No, that's you.
Okay.
Mrs. Barnett,
Yes.
like, when it says, like, this part,
Yes, and
do
I-
we just whisper?
Yes, and that's the next one we're going to cover. A fluent reader interprets the text with his or her voice by using appropriate rate, phrasing, and expression. So some of the parts in here, so for instance, hers it says whispering in parentheses. Yes, so that's a very important that you whisper that, okay? Make sure you speak loud enough that we can hear you, but in a whisper tone. Okay, maybe you've seen, you know, in play, if every play we went to, everybody was the same volume, the same level of the way they talk, it would
Expressions would be kind of.
monotone. Hi, my name is Mrs. Barnett. Welcome to our play. We are going to read something about the Underground Railroad Readers Theater. I hope you enjoy. That's no
I
fun
am
to
a
listen
robot.
to.
Yeah, a robot.
Kinda sounds like, yeah, it sounds like a machine, doesn't it? That's talking. So make sure that you, if it's an excited sentence, you've got to show excitement. Your face should show excitement, okay? If it's sad, your face, you shouldn't be smiling. Okay? If it's serious, be serious. So, but make sure you're not and we didn't understand a word you say. Because if I have to say, okay, we didn't hear you, start over. If we're doing this for an audience, we've lost them. We've lost their attention because they're going to be like, so we're going to lose. We've got to think that we're going to perform this in front of someone. I'd love to perform this in front of second grade. I think they would really enjoy it. So, okay.
He's like,
It's
I didn't
just,
sign up for this. I didn't
when
sign
I
up
say
for this.
perform, I mean it's reader's theater, but you're not going to be doing a whole lot of actions and jumping and running and yeah. If it's in here, if you could think of something to add to your character that would make it more interesting and for theater.
It says that he's walking around the house.
Yeah, you're going to have to act like you're walking around. Yeah, because that they put that in there for a reason. There's a reason they put that in there because it's important. Okay, because you got to be walking around like you're looking for something.
So we're gonna literally have to sound.
Yeah, but there's not much action for this story.
Yeah.
It's really a play with just a few actions, okay?
Oh, his,
It's more about important information. We're telling an important story in history that has happened. Okay, lastly, a fluent reader can think about, talk about, and understand the meaning of the text. So that means you know what you're reading about. You understand it. If someone were to ask you a question, you can say, yeah, right here it talks about this, or yeah, this is what we're talking about.
I didn't recognize.
So if you don't understand what you're reading, you're not going to be able to present your theater very well, okay? So I saw some of you, and I'll leave this up here if you want to go through it. My main thing for you to focus on is your tone, your rate, making sure that we can understand you, following along, okay? Because we don't want to be sitting here going, it's your turn. So make sure you're following along, which I know you guys will do great. It's more the younger kids that we have to keep their attention focused so that they know when it's their turn to read. If you haven't already, go through, highlight all of your parts. Yes, Gustavo.
Is this booger?
Yep. No, it's bugger. Bugger. There's no R. Bugger. Bugger. Yeah, they used different phrases back then when this story took place.
Back in the old days.
Yeah, you'll see some funny things that
Hello.
will catch your attention.
Hello.
Yeah, bugger. Okay.
I thought it was booger because there's a B-U-G-G-E-R.
Yeah. It was burger, B-U-R-G-E-R.
I thought booger was B-O-O.
Okay, so you guys all have all your parts. Daniel, you've got yours all. Angela, you got all yours
You don't
done?
have that many
Highlighted?
parts. I don't actually.
But long.
Yeah, they're
Or yours kind of at the end?
Yeah, mine not at the end.
And like, can you see this? Daniel, wait, you see that? It's like a pause. It's a short pause there.
Okay.
Filled up. Like,
So for today,
landed in the.
today we're just going to read through it and read through our parts. Tomorrow when we come in, we're going to work on expression and actually presenting it and making sure that if we were to present it to a class, that we were ready, okay?
So we're gonna act it out today?
No, today we're just reading through it. We're just so that everybody can get their parts. Tomorrow, yes, tomorrow we'll actually stand up like a reader's theater and as if we were performing, okay? But now tomorrow we're going to go through it again to make sure everybody's, if in Iran's part, if she's screaming when it says she should be whispering, we're going to say, hey, or hey, you could read this like where it says, ran away? Wasn't he scared of getting caught? You have to put some emotion into it, okay? Expression. Expression. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the narrator. Make sure you're following along so you know when it's your turn. Okay? All right.
The year is 1836. Our setting is a plantation close to the city of Frederick, Maryland. During the winter, Frederick is very cold, and during the summer, it is very hot. Slaves were forced to work in the field all day long, with little breaks. They would be given little clothing to wear to keep warm, and just enough water to survive.
All day long, work. And for what?
I'll tell you what, the master gets money. Didn't you see the new coat he bought himself? Must have been worth 100.
I'm tired of this. I have blisters on my hands and sores on my feet. Did you hear about old John? Heard he ran away to Philadelphia to become free.
Ran away? Wasn't he scared of getting caught?
Had to be better than being here and getting whipped every few days.
Well, that sure is true. But do you really want to risk your life for your freedom?
Turns out, they did want to risk their life for freedom. Many slaves during this period of time felt the same way. One night, Reese and Betsy decided to run away together in search of land in the north, Philadelphia.
Now, don't be scared. I'm here to lead you to safety. I am your conductor, and I've done this trip a million times, it seems. Now here's some ground rules. You need to be quiet at all times, and there's no turning back now. And if you decide you want to, I'll have no hesitation to kill you. Got a shotgun right here. No point in getting us all caught and hanged.
Oh, Reese, do you think we were right to do this?
No second thoughts now, Betsy. Didn't we say freedom was more important than life?
Didn't mean to scare you. We'll be on our way to the next safe house. It's owned by the abolitionist, Mr. Thurston Goodman. You'll see it. Bright as can be lit up with a lantern. That's how you know it's a safe house.
That's smart. But how do we know where to go? It's so dark here in the woods.
We'll see. Thank goodness it's a clear night. We can follow the drinking gourd.
The drinking gourd?
It's a group of stars, but the North Star is the biggest one, and we can follow it. If it was a cloudy night, we could follow the moss on the trees. It only grows on the north side.
Wow, you sure do know your way around.
And it's a good thing there were conductors who knew where to go. They had run the same trail many times, leading many people to safety. However, back at the plantation, the master was mighty angry that some of his slaves had slipped off during the night.
Those slaves, they were some of my best workers. How am I ever going to make up for their cotton picking? I am going to chase them down and put my overseer in charge. You're going to get it when I finally find them.
Now Joseph was a man who got what he wanted. He went right on after those slaves the next morning. Thankfully, William had done a good job finding Mr. Thurston Goodman's home.
Welcome to my home. Now, unfortunately, you know me harboring you as a crime, so you must stay in my cellar. Please don't make a noise, but I will try to bring you down some scraps of dinner and food. I have a few blankets here also. I know it's not much, but it'll keep you safe. Here, your master. Sure, it is angry you're gone.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Goodman, for your kindness.
Yes, Mr. Goodman, this is all we'll need.
Mr. Goodman, we can always count on you. How many escaped slaves have you had in your home now? 100?
Yes, sir. About that. I seem to have groups every few nights coming through here. Seeing businesses on the Underground Railroad is picking up, thanks to the Harriet Tubman.
There's a knock on the door, and Mr. Goodman rushes to answer.
Why, good evening, Goodman. How can I help you?
I hear you, no good rotten scoundrel has been having slaves in here.
Now, sir, I'm sure you didn't mean to say it so harshly. Mind if we have a look around? I've been looking for 2 escaped slaves, and I don't want anyone stealing my property. I paid good money for both of them. Excuse me? But it isn't against my constitutional rights for you to be looking around without a warrant. What type of man do you think I am?
A slave lover is what I've been hearing. Last week, Thomas Trout said he saw a couple of escaped slaves in this part of the area. You're the only house within 5 miles. We hang those slaves and we'll hang you too.
I'm sorry, sir, but they are not here. Please have a look around.
Hey, Reese, let's play. Please don't let them find us. Please don't let them find us.
Please don't let them find us, or we'll be hanged for sure.
Shh. If you two don't shut up, we'll be found.
Well, I haven't seen anything. Although I am rather curious why you have so much dinner being made just for you and your wife. Of course, Mrs. and Mr. Jonathan Adams were coming for dinner. However, Miss Adams seemed to have come down with a touch of the flu, so they were unable to come. Just like that, at the last minute? Seems odd.
You're lying, you bugger. Slave lover you are.
Sir, I see no need for your accusing. Please leave my house at once, since you haven't found anything that have no proof.
Fine. Come on then, Mr. Harris. Must not waste time before those slaves of yours run even farther.
Yes, let's go off to find them. Thank you for your time, Mr. Goodman. Please let me know if you happen to see either one of them. I'm offering you quite the reward. Yes, sure. I will do that.
The slave hunter and Mr. Joseph Harris leave the home. Once they do, the runaways leave for the night to rest up, before leaving again on the Underground Railroad the next night. They stop at 4 other houses on the way to rest and regain their strength. Finally, after dangerous traveling conditions, a few thunderstorms, and lots of blisters, they land into Philadelphia, land of the North and land of the free.
Oh, Reese, smell the city air. Northern air, is different than southern air.
The sweetest smell I've ever smelled. Freedom.
Glad you two have made it. Now, please talk to other free slaves around for work and shelter. They may be able to help you get on your feet here in Philadelphia.
Oh, we will, William. Thank you for your help.
Freedom. Thank you for your help to freedom.
All right. Nice job. What you guys think?
I want to change my part.
You're going to change your part. I think you did a nice job.
I know, but I want to do some acting.
You want to do some acting?
Yeah. I'm just reading.
Yeah.
Well, you
like
could
the
go around
narrator.
the
Can I be
years.
Reese?
Can you be Reese?
Yeah.
I guess you could if you want. Reese could be a boy.
Yeah.
You could go around the years 1836.
Yep.
These recess.
Be like on those
Reese's Pieces.
those TV shows where they get that deep voice and they get you all up in suspense by
Yeah.
the way they talk.
Yeah.
And then you have the music playing in the background.
Hello, mate.
The year is 1836. Our setting is a plantation close to the city of Frederick, Maryland. During the winter, Frederick is very cold, and during the summer, it is very hot.
I like the expression. It gets you interested. If you prefer to have something different, yes, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'll give you this. Don't pay attention up to the top. You'll have to highlight the other parts, and I'll take this. Okay?
Hello, mate.
So,
Separate. Oh.
yeah, I just haven't stapled it. So, okay, so that's all we're going to do for today. Tomorrow we'll come back in and we'll read through it again. And we'll stop along the way and see if we need to add or change anything. And you want to do more what? Readers theaters?
Yeah.
They're fun, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially when you get to act. What do you guys think about doing this for second grade?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they would love it. They may not really understand what we're talking about because they may not even know about the
Oh, you
Underground
should have
Railroad.
Mrs. Reimer talk about that for a couple days. Like,
Yeah. But when they get into 5th grade, they'll be like, "Oh, I remember that theater, that play that those kids did for us," and then
So
they'll know a little bit.
awesome.
Yeah.
Why'd you guys pick us?
Just Mrs. Waldman did.
oh.
Yep. She thought you guys could handle it. I think you guys can handle it. Okay. I can keep your papers or you can take them, whichever you prefer.
Yeah.
Just make sure if you take it, make sure you bring it back tomorrow, okay?
Evolution is the evolution.
Okay.
What? I remember
All right.
that.
So let's go over these one more time that we went over yesterday, just so you keep in mind a fluent reader reads words correctly, okay? It's very important to keep, if we had an audience, to keep your audience's attention, not to try to stumble and fumble on words,
And
because
this one's gourd again, right? Gourd?
gourd, yes.
Evolution is
The name, the gourd, I looked that up. Another name that we would know is Big Dipper.
Oh.
Yes. You know, on the next line it talks about the stars and, but that's what, it's the Big Dipper, but that's what they called it then. There's a song that goes with the drinking gourd, so, but that's what they called it back then. Okay. Notice his reading errors. It goes back in the reading to self-correct them. You guys did a really good job of that yesterday. If you said a word wrong, you went back and fixed it. The punctuation by pausing, commas and periods. You guys did a great job with that. Interprets a text with your voice. We're going to work on that just a little bit before we present the rate, the phrasing, and expression. Okay? Make the way that you present it. I mean, if your face is just, and then she fell. I mean, just
Then she fell.
between the sound, that's good acting. So people are like, okay, and you can think about, talk about, and understand the meaning of the text. Are you guys understanding what this theater is about? You've got to be kidding me! All right. Good thing for flexibility. Okay, so the last thing I think I said was, did you guys understand what you're reading, what we're reading about, what your parts mean? You know, we looked up some words and what they meant so that makes more sense to us. So,
Is this bugger?
Bugger. Remember, there's no RG, it's 2 G's. So bugger.
Bugger over there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get him.
that's how they talked back then. Bugger. So, which we don't use anymore. So.
Hello, mate.
That's Australia.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's what we're gonna do.
Hello.
We are going to. We've got just a little bit of time. I'm going to give you like 4 or 5 minutes to go through your parts and see if you need to write a note to yourself about any action you should do. If there's a word you don't know how to say. If there's a word you don't know what it means.
I'm gonna add it to it.
I mean, if yours says,
Gourd.
you know, ran away. If I'm going to stand here and say, ran away, wasn't he scared of getting caught? Do some action. Ran away? Wasn't he scared of getting caught? Okay, but you have to play the part, okay? You have to play the part that you're doing, okay? So I want you to just write, if you have to write a short word, so that you know what to do when you come to that part, okay? So I'm going to give you a few minutes. Just look through your parts. Make sure, especially you, Daniel, since you're switching from yesterday, just make sure that you understand everything. And you guys really did a good job yesterday. Just make sure to see if you should.
Follow the muscle please. It grows on the inside.
It just doesn't.
They say it grows on the lower side.
All right, so read through your parts. Make any notes that you need that when you're presenting this, you'll see that note and know, oh, I need to do this.
Mr. Goodman, we can always count on you.
There you go.
How many escape slaves have you had in your home now? 100?
No, maybe just so.
You also need to figure out who you're talking to, because if you're looking at me and saying, how many? I'm the narrator. I'm not the person you should be talking to. So make sure you're kind of figuring out who you're talking to in the story so you can present to them, okay?
I'm gonna add it to this.
Yes. We're not really acting because we're not doing, but yes, we're going to present it today. We're going to stand up and we're going to present it as if we were doing it for an audience. Okay?
We'll have a short amount of time.
We can't go too far because I need to be able to hear it for it to record. So we'll probably just line up just right here.
Do I say Philadelphia?
Philadelphia. Not Philly, not Philly. That's what they call it for short. Not Philly. Philadelphia.
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 I don't like the Eagles.
Mr. Goodman.
Daniel, have you looked through your parts? All's good?
Yeah.
Everybody feels comfortable with it?
I only have
You only have like 2.
I have 8.
That's not bad. Okay.
I think.
All right.
It's the Easter bagel.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So let's make sure we're ready to go. Here's some things that I want you to know for when you are up front in front of our invisible audience. Holding the script at a steady height. Okay? If you're holding it up here, I'm not going to hear you. Okay? If you're like this, you're not going to be speaking correctly, okay? Right here, okay? You should pretend that there's a front row in front of you. You should be able to see that whole front row over top of your paper.
Can you go like this? I'm tired of this.
Yeah, if that was part of
I
your,
know.
yep.
I'm kidding.
Try to look up often. I know you don't have these parts memorized at all, but if you can kind of read ahead, and so that you can look out at your audience, look back down, look out at your audience, look back down, okay? That helps get their attention. Speaking with feeling. The key word is
Expression.
expression, feeling. Yes. And remember where your audience is. I don't want you talking over here when your audience, unless you're talking to a person, but remember your audience has to be able to hear you. So don't turn your back to them and talk over here. If you're talking to someone over here, make sure and just turn sideways so that the audience can still hear you. Okay? Ready? Let's try it.
Not now.
Yeah, let's try it. Okay, I'm just gonna have you guys line right up right here.
I'm
not really concerned about your acting skills. I'm more concerned about your fluency. How well you can read, how well you can follow these steps.
So the narrator, we should line
For
up
this
to like
fluency
where
strategy.
they come in. So it'd be the narrator, then it'd be Betsy, and then it'd be Reese, and then it'd be me, and then
I'm last, so.
and then Mr. Joseph Harris. No, actually you're here.
It's
Mr.
okay.
Joseph Harris.
We don't have to line up in a row. Just line
And
up
Slave Hunter's
however.
last.
We just need to line up. But you guys, you need to scoot this way so I can get you all on video. All the way down to where I can see Gustavo. Gustavo. Iran, I can't see you. You guys have to come a little bit further this way. Daniel, this way.
Iran, you should be like closer over here, so like.
There. Okay, here we go. Another thing I didn't mention is when another person's speaking, don't take that attention of the audience away from that speaker, okay? Don't be waving your papers and clicking your fingers, making actions. Someone's waving at your audience, don't wave back, okay? Be professional about it, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Professional mode activate.
Hey, remember, Iran, hold your paper right here, okay? Yep, you got it. All right. The year is 1836. Our setting is a plantation close to the city of Frederick, Maryland. During the winter, Frederick is very cold, and during the summer, it's very hot. Slaves were forced to work in the field all day long with little breaks. They would be given little clothing to wear to keep warm and just enough water to survive.
All day long, work, work, work. And for what?
I'll tell you what, the master gets money. Didn't you see the new coat he bought himself? It must have been worth 100.
I'm tired of this. I have blisters on my hands and sores on my feet. Did you hear about old John? Heard he ran away to Philadelphia to become free.
Ran away? Wasn't he scared of getting caught?
Had to be better than being here and getting whipped every few days.
Well, that sure is true. But do you want to risk your life for your freedom?
It turns out they did want to risk life for freedom. Many slaves during this period of time felt the same way. One night, Reese and Betsy decided to run away together in search of land in the north, Philadelphia.
Now, don't be scared. I'm here to lead you to safety. I'm your conductor, and I've done this trip 1,000,000 times, it seems. Now, here's some ground rules. You're going to be quiet at all times. There's no turning back now, and if you decide you want to, I'll have no hesitation to kill you. Got a shotgun right here. No point in getting us all caught in hanging.
Reese, do you think we were right to do this?
No second thoughts now, Betsy. Didn't we say freedom was more important than life?
Didn't mean to scare you. We'll be on our way to the next safe house. It's owned by the abolitionist, Mr. Thirst Goodman, and you'll see it bright as can be lit up with a lantern. That's how you know it's a safe house.
That's smart. But how do we know where to go? It's so dark here in the woods.
Well, see? Thank goodness it's a clear night. We can follow the drinking gourd.
The drinking gourd?
It's a group of stars, but the North Star is the biggest one, and we can follow it. If it was a cloudy night, we could follow the moss on the trees. It only grows on the north side.
Wow, you sure do know your way around.
And it's a good thing there were conductors who knew where to go. They had run the same trail many times, leading many people to safety. However, back at the plantation, the master was mighty angry that some of his slaves had slipped off during the night.
Those slaves, they were some of my best workers. How am I ever going to make up for their cotton picking? I am going to chase them down and put my overseer in charge. They're going to get it when I finally find them.
Now Joseph was a man who got what he wanted. He went right on after those slaves the next morning. Thankfully, William had done a good job finding Mr. Thurston Goodman's home.
Welcome to my home. Now, unfortunately, you know me harboring you as a crime, so you must stay in my cellar. Please don't make noise, but I will try to bring you down some scraps of dinner and food. I have a few best blankets here also. I know it's not much, but it'll keep you safe. Here your master sure is angry you're gone.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Goodman, for your kindness.
Yes, Mr. Goodman. This is all we need.
Mr. Goodman, we can always count on you. How many escaped slaves have you had in your home now? 100?
Yes, sir. About that. I seem to have groups every night coming through here. Seems business on that underground railroad is picking up, thanks to the Harriet Tubman.
There's a knock on the door, and Mr. Goodman rushes to answer.
Good evening, man. How can I help you?
I hear you no good rotten scoundrel has been hiding slaves in here.
Now, sir, I'm sure you didn't mean to say it so harshly. Mind if we have a look around? I've been looking for 2 escaped slaves, and I don't want anyone stealing my property here. I paid good money for both of them.
Excuse me? But it isn't against my constitutional rights for you to be looking around in here without a warrant. What type of man do you think I am?
A slave lover is what I've been hearing. Last week, Thomas Trout said he saw a couple of escaped slaves in this part of the area. You're the only house within 5 miles. We hang those slaves, and we'll hang you too.
I am sorry, sir, but they were not here. Please have a look around.
Oh, Reese, let's play. Pray. Please don't let them find us. Please don't let them find us.
Please don't let them find us. We'll be here for sure.
Shh! If you two don't shut up, we'll be found.
Well, I haven't seen anything, although I am rather curious why you have so much dinner being eaten.
Okay, guys, get back on track. Mr. Thurston Goodman.
Oh, of course, Mr. and Mrs. Jonathan Adams were coming for dinner. However, Miss Adams seemed to have come down with a touch of the flu, so they were unable to come.
Just like that, at the last minute? Seems odd.
You're lying, you bugger. Slave lover you are.
Sir, I need no for your accusing. Please leave my house at once, since you haven't found anything no proof.
Fine. Come on, then, Mr. Harris. You must not waste time before those slaves of yours run even farther.
Yes, must go off to find them. Thank you for your time, Mr. Goodman. Please let me know if you happen to see either one of them. I am offering quite the reward.
Yes, sir, I will do that.
The slave hunter and Mr. Joseph Harris leave the home. Once they do, the runaways sleep for the night to rest up, before leaving again on the Underground Railroad the next night. They stop at 4 other houses on the way to rest and regain their strength. Finally, after dangerous traveling conditions, a few thunderstorms, and lots of blisters, they land into Philadelphia, land of the north and land of the free.
Oh, Reese, smell the city air. Northern air is different than southern air.
The sweetest smell I've ever smelled. Freedom.
Glad you two have made it. Now please talk to to other free slaves around for work and shelter. They may be able to help you on your feet here in Philadelphia.
Oh, we will, William. Thank you for your help.
Freedom. Thank you for your help to freedom.
All right, nice job. Besides our little laughing attacks. I must have missed whatever was funny. Okay.
Shut up, where will we go?
Is that what it was?
Yeah, we should have.
I read said